Welcome to the Every Brain is Different podcast. It is Samantha and Lauren here with you, and we are by ourselves today. We got a request to talk about the competing needs of ADHD and autism because there are so many people with both.
Yes, and it's a struggle.
It is a struggle because ADHD is novelty seeking, distractibility, impulsivity, all those different things. And then autism, you have a preference for sameness, a routine, sensory sensitivity, those kinds of things. And when you have both, it's not like one just goes over to the other side and you just feel one. Like you're diagnosed with both for a reason. So, yeah, there's those competing needs. It's the psychiatrist described my brain one time as having competing needs, like stepping on the gas, but stepping on the brake of a car at the same time. And I feel like that's kind of what autism and ADHD are like, is that the ADHD is go, 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 go experience new things, go do this, go do that. And then autism's whoa, 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 let's put the brakes on
Right?
and just do the same thing we've always done. And so, yeah, it can just make it feel like your brain is constantly sending you mixed signals and you don't know what to do. So, if your child is like that, it can be really hard for them to navigate this world, like even harder than if you just had ADHD or just had autism, because those are like big enough things. But then what do you do? Like the person that wrote in said, we're using, what's it called? Schedule,
Schedule.
but they don't like schedules, but they need a schedule, but they don't like schedules. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, because the ADHD person in them is, I don't want this schedule. I just want to do my thing. And then the autism person is, well, I want a schedule. I want to know what's coming next.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what can we do? I think you can elaborate more on this, Lauren, because you talked to your boyfriend who has both.
Yes.
And I think the key to navigating ADHD and autism is flexibility. So
Yes.
for me anyway, I don't know if I have autism. I have never been tested for it. I know I have ADHD. But for me, if I make a schedule, it can relieve my brain so I know what I'm not should be doing, but what I could be doing. But then I have flexibility that if my brain's just not feeling it, like doing that thing, I can go do something else and come back to it. So I think that's the key, is just having flexibility.
For sure. I think with that flexibility, with regard to like flexibility routines, is to not put specifics. Don't say at 8 a.m. we're going here. You say in the morning we're going here, because then that leaves room for the flexibility. And so I think that's a really big part of it. And then having the use of timers and visual schedules and all
Yeah.
that fun stuff. But that was the biggest thing when I talked to my boyfriend who has both of these. And he just said, it's why I hide out in my room, because it's just two sides of my brain battling each other. It's hard. But the thing that he said is most helpful is having those flexible routines and having the schedule, but leaving room for the unknown and the different and the spontaneity. So
Yeah, like I make a weekly schedule and I used to write down, okay, at 9 a.m. I'm going to do this, and then at 10 a.m. I'm going to do this, and then at 11 a.m. I'm going to do this. But unless there are appointments that you have to be to, that doesn't work for me anymore because one, I don't know how long something's going to take. When people would make those lists, I've been like, but how do you know how long it's going to take? What if you start doing a project and it takes you like 2 hours? So unless it's a hard and fast thing, like I have to get my kids to their therapy appointment at 8 a.m. We have to be there at 8 a.m. But if it's not something like that, I just say things that I want to do. Like today, I want to clean the kitchen and do my podcast stuff and go to my music therapy sessions. And I don't list by the minute what I'm going to do. Because then you feel like a failure when you don't get it done
Exactly.
that way. And you don't want that.
Well, and then also the autism part of it is it's so stringent. If you say 8 o'clock and then that doesn't happen, then it's hard to like read the autism side of the brain when things like that.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, just that flexibility.
Yeah. Or if you wake up and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this by 8 a.m. and then you don't do it, you're like, well, I'm a failure for the day, so I might as well not even do the rest of
Yeah.
my plan. It's like when you're on a diet and you eat a cheat food and then you're just like, well, I ruined my diet, so now I can eat whatever
I
I
might as well have the ice cream too.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So, yeah, just if you're doing this for a child, create flexible schedules. Like we talked about in that parent consultation thing with Andrea, that let your kid do it the way they need to do it. So if you say, hey, go clean the kitchen, and they don't clean it exactly right, maybe don't harp on them to do that. Maybe just recognize that they're learning. And so if they don't do it in exactly 10 minutes that you thought they were going to do it, or like you can just give them a list of chores for the day. My sister used to wake up in the morning and she'd be like, what are my chores for the day? And if my mom did not give her all her chores, she wouldn't do anything because she wanted to know what her chores were for the day so that she could do them and get them out of the way and then move on with life. And so you can be flexible in saying, okay, these are the things that we need to get done today. What order do you want to do them in? And then if they start doing them and they're like, actually, I want to change the order. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Let
just
them.
flexibility. Yeah, let them. The next one is to regulate the environment, not the child. So this is a situation that maybe you encounter. The ADHD brain seeks stimulation. The autistic brain is overstimulated by the same input, but the ADHD brain wants it. So what do? You can create zones for quiet space for regulation or an active space for movement and noise. You can have both of them. So if your child needs to be active and running around, making noise, let them do that. And then if they get overstimulated by that, then let them have a quiet place that they can go to self-regulate. You can also offer choices like noise canceling headphones, sensory bins, fidgets, movement breaks, anything like that. But just alter the environment so that your child has the ability to choose what they need in the moment. And that might change quickly because, like we just said, ADHD brain seeks stimulation. Autistic brain is overstimulated by that same stimulation.
Yeah.
But you need to get the stimulation to satisfy the ADHD brain, and then you need to self-regulate to satisfy the autistic brain. Hard. Yeah, it's
very hard.
hard.
Yeah. It makes so much sense. My boyfriend prefers to just hide in his room.
Yeah. Or I just sit here and I don't know what to do. And I feel it's a really weird feeling that I've been having lately where I just don't feel satisfied and I don't know how to get that satisfaction. Like my body feels like it needs something, but I don't know what it needs and I never quite
Craving it
get
and
it.
just
Yeah.
that.
And so that can just, well, I don't like to say drive a person crazy, but it can drive a person crazy because you're sitting there and you're just like buzzing because you don't have something that will scratch that itch. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I need, but I need something and I'm not getting it. And
Right?
so I think that's a lot of times what people with ADHD and autism can feel like. And so that might be why they're having the maladaptive behavior or the behavior that you don't really want to see, like aggression and all that, because their body just doesn't feel right. And so that
They
leads us
don't
in.
know.
Yeah, they just don't know what they need. Hey everyone, Samantha here, and I'm thrilled to invite you to join me for something special, the Parenting Power Hour. This is your chance, parents of neurodivergent kids, to to bring your questions directly to me and fellow parents in the room. We're here to help you develop actionable plans that really work so you can finally stop the meltdowns and find peace in your home. As a mom to 3 kids with ADHD and autism, I've seen and been through the challenges too. So trust me, we'll find solutions together that fit your family. Don't miss out on the Parenting Power Hour. It's a free online monthly gathering every second Thursday of the month from 12:45 to 1:45 Mountain Standard Time. Visit everybrainisdifferent.com to reserve your spot today. And so the third strategy that we have is to teach internal awareness and body signals. So use co-regulation to help them learn what their body needs. So you can say, is your body feeling too slow or too fast right now? Do you want something quiet or something active? And just get curious and ask them questions and then modify the environment to what they need. So we've talked about toolkits before, and you can build your toolkit with movement exercises or music or brain breaks or deep pressure or whatever they need. You can give them options so when they feel like they need something and they don't know what it is, they can try out different things until they get what they need. And also validate both needs. Like, it's not bad to need quiet. It's not bad to need stimulation. It's not bad to need deep pressure. None of it's bad. It's just teaching them to understand and be curious about their own bodies to try out things to help them get where they need to be.
Teach them about self-regulation.
Yeah. And so you can even say, oh, my body feels really strange right now. I don't know what I need. I'm going to try this. It's that talking out loud that we've talked about before, where you're talking out loud so they can hear you, not necessarily because you need to talk it out, but just so
Yeah.
they can understand the process of how they can get regulated.
Really great modeling technique.
Yeah, just model it. The fourth strategy is to scaffold transitions thoughtfully. So the ADHD brain struggles with starting and stopping tasks. Like, I struggle so much with starting things, and then once I get going, I get so annoyed when people try to stop me. And so this is like every morning where I struggle to get out of bed. I get out of bed and then I start my daily stuff and I get out of bed before my kids wake up. But then my kids wake up and I'm like in the zone working. And then they're like, Mom, I need this. Mom, I need that. Mom, I need this. And it's
hard to get out of it.
so hard to get out of what I'm doing. So yeah, the ADHD brain struggles with starting and stopping, and the autistic brain struggles with shifting between tasks. And so one way that you can help with this is to use transition helpers. So you can use a countdown, visual timer, or saying, hey, we're going to do this in 5 minutes, or we're going to do this after this happens, and this is going to happen. Another thing that you can do is use music. So you can say, when you hear this sound or when you hear this song, you have until the end of the song to transition to a new activity. Or when you hear this song, you have until the end of it to get your shoes on. And so that way it's not you as the parent telling them what to do. It's just them recognizing on their own, oh, that song is playing. It's time to transition. This works really well with kids who have pathological demand avoidance or PDA. So if you remember, when you tell kids with PDA to do something, they might go into fight or flight. And then this is just a way that you don't have to tell them what to do. The music is telling them what to do. So they can't argue with the music. Like, it's just that time. And then if they don't recognize that the music is playing, you can say, oh, what song is this? What does this song mean when you hear it? Or just different things like that. So, any other words of wisdom, Lauren, on this topic?
I think as a parent, you got to have a lot of patience. Like, I have to have a lot of patience with my boyfriend, and just really knowing when to they need to be left alone. But then just providing the support, asking them, like you said, is your brain too fast? Is it too slow? Having communication if you can, but just be patient, because it's like they're struggling with so many things And then on top of that, it's this internal struggle in the brain conflicting. And so there's just so much that I don't know. I feel for the overwhelm that they probably all must be feeling. So,
Yeah, yeah. And so that was awesome. I loved what you said because it's true. Like, if you were overwhelmed all the time, you would probably have meltdowns too. And so when your kid is having a meltdown, my favorite phrase, as Dr. Zakreski said, get curious, not furious.
yeah.
And help your children to get curious. Acknowledge that trial and error is normal, that it's normal to try things. Maybe they fail, maybe they don't, but you have to try things in order to see what works for you. And so if you're helping your child navigate this, just the main strategies that we spoke about were having flexible routines, having environmental support, so control the environment, not the child, or adapt the environment, I should say. You can't control the environment,
Yeah.
but you can adapt it. And then build awareness of their internal needs, so helping them feel what they need and giving them options for strategies on how to help themselves. And then transition scaffolding, where you help them with the transitions and starting and stopping and all of that. So, once again, this isn't about fixing them. Children and adults with autism and ADHD do not need fixed. I used to
Support.
hear that so much, like 10 years
Yeah.
ago. People all the time would be like, we need to fix them. And I'm like, we don't need to
They're
fix
not
them.
broken.
Yeah, they're not broken. And if you have ADHD and autism, you're not broken. We just need to find better ways to support kids and adults with these things so that they can thrive in our world. So there's my soapbox moment.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thank you. I hope that everyone has a good week and that this was helpful. Let us know. Let us know if you try these things and it was helpful, because I would love to know if these things are helpful for you, because this is one of the hardest things that I think there is to tackle when you have the competing needs of both diagnoses. So I'd be curious to know if this helps anyone. So let us know. And if you want more support, if you want to talk out some of these strategies, we will be having our Parenting Power Hour the second Thursday. So next Thursday at 12:45 Mountain Time. It's 12:45 to 1:45. You can come, you can talk to me. Hopefully others will be there. You can talk to them and maybe just talk out a strategy and see if what you're thinking will work. So yeah, you can go to everybrainisdifferent.com to find that. And we hope you have a good week, and we'll see you next week.